What's up guys, Hobo88 here and welcome back to another tutorial video, which is something I haven't done in ages, but I figured now's a good chance for me to go back and update the process on how to mod rFactor. I have done a video on this before many years ago, but new PC, completely blank install of rFactor, and this time I've got it installed through Steam, so I figured while I'm going through the process of installing something, I may as well go through that process for you guys at the same time. So it's all pretty straightforward. Modding into rFactor is pretty simple. What I've got in this video is 2 downloads from the Dirtworks Designs crew, and I'll be just installing them in 2 different methods, the same as what I showed in a previous video and a different way. Both very simple, both very easy to do. So all I'm going to do is open up Steam and rFactor to open the game. You guys already know that that's how it works when you've got it installed with Steam, and we're just going to go ahead and do the install process. So I've got a track pack here and I've got the 2020 street stock, so we'll just start with the track pack because why not. When I open it, it's just in an installer. We give it a second for it to load, but it has its own built-in installer. This is something that Dirtworks Designs do, and some other modders do as well. So we're going to allow that, yes. And then welcome to the track pack install program. So we're going to run through the wizard here, and we're just going to install it the way that it is asking us to right here. So I'm going to say yes, that's all fine. I agree. Next, and then we got to choose our install location. So this is where it may vary from person to person, but for me, we've got to locate our Steam folder, and that'll be wherever you've got it installed on your computer. And then inside Steam, we're looking for Steam Apps, Common, rFactor. And then that's all we need to do is just select the rFactor folder, hit OK. And then next, this program will install the track pack into this folder. Click Start. So we do that, and then go through the process and let the install happen. Now this is the way that I haven't shown in a previous video. The previous video I installed by extracting the files and copying them into rFactor manually, and I will show that process next. So this is just using the default installer software that comes with Dirtworks Designs mods, and some other, like I said, some other people create mods and do it this way as well, so that's why I'm showing it. But that has successfully been installed. Exit. So now we'll go and we'll actually open up the game. So I've got a completely blank install of rFactor before doing that, a completely new install. So we're even going to have to do all of this stuff. We might just say 1920 by 1080 windowed. That's all fine. Yep, okay. Let it go through and install here. We're all familiar with the rFactor intro. I'm not going to play through it. Now, what was that we just did? The track pack, I think. So control, testing. We should have a Dirtworks Design track pack that we can pick from now, installed into the default rFactor thing. So we've done that. We've installed the tracks. That's all that's involved with it, guys. It's that simple. The tracks are now installed. So what I'm going to do next is exit. Minimize this out again, and I'm going to do the same process, but with the stocks and do the cars. But this time, instead of installing it with the default installer, I'm going to do it by manually copying and pasting the files into the rFactor install, which is the more common way, but slightly more complicated way to install mods into rFactor. Automibilista is the same. Assetto Corsa is quite the same as well, unless you use Content Manager. All this sort of stuff. Most mods are done this way for games. So the process to start with is the same. We're going to open the installer like we did before. We'll allow it because we know that it's fine. And we're going to run the installer, but instead of installing the files directly into the rFactor folder, we're just going to install them somewhere on the desktop and then copy them across manually. So next, I agree, next, and this time we're just going to choose desktop. Create a folder in there called, we'll just call it DWD or something. Actually, I might even do it this way. Desktop, create new folder, we'll call it DWD stocks. Select that, okay. So now it's going to install them there. We're just going to go next. The process is the same. We'll let the extractor or installer wizard do what it's going to do. It'll extract all those files into that folder. So far the process is all the same, but instead of selecting our Steam folder, we're just going to go ahead and install them into an empty folder on the desktop and move them across manually. So the good way about doing it like this is it's a little bit more controlled. You can control what's happening and what you're installing and all that sort of stuff. I typically like to extract all my files somewhere and keep them saved on a hard drive or something like that, so you can always go back to them. But it's up to you how you do it. Of course, if we had have done the same process as we did before, we could have just installed them straight into the game and it would be done. So the reason why I do it like this though for this video, and the reason why I'm showing you, is because a lot of the mods that you'll download, especially from smaller modders and things like that, will literally just be like, it might be a zip file. The zip file will just have the track or the car mods inside it, and that'll be all. That'll be it. There won't be anything else. So that's why I'm going to show you how to do it this way as well. So this is nearly finished extracting. It's a pretty big pack, this one, so it's going to take a little while, but once it's done, I'll show you guys the process. Alright, so now that's finished, let's go ahead and just click next and exit. So now, if we have a look, if I can find it somewhere here on our desktop, we've got a folder called Dirtworks Design Stocks. If I open it, this is what you see inside it. So it's just a game data, RFM, UI data, and an uninstaller. That's what the folders are. Now, if I go, and I'm just going to bring it up here on my other screen and then drag it across, but if I go into my folders and find Steam, my Steam installation again, I've got mine installed on a D drive, but you guys might have it somewhere else, I probably would. But inside there, it's the same process as before. We're going to find the rFactor folder, so Steam apps, common, rFactor, and then you can see that there's a list of folders here that are the same as what you see in here. So you just need to copy across the folders from here manually. So what I might do is do this sort of side by side so you guys can see it a little bit easier. So we've got a game data folder and a game data folder. So I'm going to open this, and then the same process again. In here we've got scripts. Now you can just copy it all across in one hit, but I like to do it this way. So now I'm going to go copy and paste. I'll move that one across. Then we've got the sounds folder, sounds, DWD main, copy and paste that one in. And a vehicles folder, rFactor, game data, vehicles, paste. And this one's going to take a second to copy across because it's quite large. Obviously this is the majority of the mod, the cars. And then back. So that's all those ones done. We'll go all the way back to the main folder, and then we've got an RFM folder. You can see here. And this will just be two little files. Copy and paste. And then there's also a UI data folder as well. So we'll paste that in. And then that's all we need to do. We don't need to move the uninstaller, so that's all we need to do. So now we've copied across so all the installer does when we run through it the way we did the first time is it just does that process automatically for you. But like I said, a lot of mods that you'll download will just look like this, and you'll have to be able to manually copy them across like I just did. So next thing to do is to open up Steam again and test it and see whether or not those cars have now gone in. And I'll look like quite the fool if they haven't, but I guarantee that they will have. So you can see it's already loaded up differently. Because the new mod's been installed, it straight away selected that as the cars to load up with. So the loading screen was different, and then you can see we've got all the cars loaded in here already, good to go. Sportsman, street stocks, and super stocks. So that's all the process. That's how simple it is, guys. So let's just say we pick a car, any car, use that one, go to our tracks. We've got all of our tracks. Let's say Eldora. If we hit go, I haven't checked any of those settings, but let's assume that it's all right. Track loads all the way, no errors, car loads in. Happy days, good as that, and we are done. So that's the process, guys. That's how we install mods in rFactor. I get asked about this constantly, and a lot of people complain that the old video that I did isn't relevant anymore or isn't current, which is wrong. It still is. Still does work, but a lot of people don't understand the process when it comes to installing into Steam, which is how most people have got the game installed these days. I used to have a standalone version, but nowadays I'm going to run it out of Steam myself. So I figured time for a new video, an update, just to show you guys the process, and it's as simple as that. Guys, if you're watching the video and you found it useful, give it a thumbs up, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was insightful. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Hobbo88, twitch.tv/Hobbo88 to tune into my live streams. And of course, don't forget to be a part of the Hobbo88 community and check out the Discord channel. The link is in the description below. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.